What up, world? It's your boy J Star back again. We got the top five of week three at every position video, man. So we're gonna get into this as we always do. Right away, we starting with the tight end position here. Just missed the cut on the tight end position here is Hunter Henry. So basically number six, almost number five, basically. Hunter Henry's been playing really good too lately. Really good matchup for him against the Jets. Should be where they attack the field. The only thing probably why he kind of only missed out of this top five will be because I think like basically all the other tight ends in this this top five is going to be tight ends that don't really share their work or in their production with any other tight end basically. So it has been a little bit. Jaceki is getting more involved. It seems like from week one to week two. So yeah, we don't know if he's going to cut in a little bit more to Henry. I mean, so far though, it's been not really hurting Henry. He's been over, I think, what is it, 10 points every game at least for sure. Like yeah, the first two games. So looking at 16, 17. So he's been really doing really good, even with having Jaceki in there at the same time since they're running a lot of 12 personnels. But first up here at the number five is Laporta. Really good matchup for him. I know, the chalk play of Musgrave last week didn't hit for us. Love didn't really find him enough. I mean, I feel like he missed him on certain routes. And also Musgrave and him connection is still growing, man. Like I've seen like early in the game, I know he tried to throw him like a short route in the goal line area too, but Musgrave wasn't even paying attention. So that kind of hurt. But I mean, over here though, it looks like, the chemistry is working out very well with Goff and Laporta. So looks like he is really taking in that Hawkinson role. The only thing is if his targets can get up to more where Hawkinson was at, that will help a lot more because Hawkinson was getting about 8 to 10 even on Detroit. So if that ends up going up, I can definitely see that hitting more for Laporta. But yeah, definitely got to put him in the top five here at number five. And we're going to keep it moving here, man. Got a lot to get to. So we got next up here is Ferguson at number four. Really good matchup for him. Arizona has always been a team we kind of picked on against tight ends and stuff like that. So, yeah, he should be in for a big game. We can get his targets back to this 7. I really see him hitting big. Even off of 4, he did finally get a touchdown. But if we can get to 7 this next game, he could end up being like 17 something fantasy points. So, got to make the top 5 for this good matchup and the possibility of points that he can get you, especially at the price too he's at. So at number 3, going to the top here is going to be Kelsey. Chicago's been giving up, wide receiver, of course, like number one wide receiver, but Kelsey is the number one wide receiver for the Chiefs. So got to put him here at number 3 on this list, man, because of that. He's the one that's getting the bulk load of the targets, playing as a number one wide receiver for this team. So I expect him to have a huge game against Chicago here. So got to put him on that list at number 3 there. At number 2 this week, we're going to, did I pass him? Okay, Evan Ingram, man. Evan Ingram has a really good matchup here. For the linebacker that's basically sticking him coverage wise is not really that good. So he has one of the best matchups basically for this week. Should be, used a lot too, since also Zay Jones looks like he probably won't be playing this week. And, I know they'll probably put Kirk. They're probably going to use Agnew and stuff like that too as well. But definitely I see them going to a lot of Evan Ingram a little bit more in this game. They already used him a lot in this last game, a lot of screen plays and things like that. Probably get sent deep up the field though for some big plays and stuff in this game too, especially just stream routing across, straight down the field while, I see like Kirk or somebody coming across, maybe Ridley. But I can definitely see him catching a big play in this game. So that's why I got to put him at number 2, man, with the matchup and everything. Just bodes well for him. So then we got at number 1 is going to be Hawkinson. Great game here, matchup wise too. Has a linebacker that has one of the worst coverage linebackers. His targets is just crazy lately, almost pushing towards a double-digit target. This team plays very fast, very explosive offense team. This should be a back and forth game too. And I just don't see how Hawkinson doesn't just have another big game for him. Coming off 11 and 25. Another good matchup for him with linebackers like it was for Philly, and just a more also even a more explosive game I feel like too it could be. So definitely had to put Hawkinson at number 1 there, man. And then we moving on to running backs. Let's go to running backs. So in running backs, who missed the cut here? It looks like it was Madison. Back to that same game, very explosive game. Just his touches are very low. Targets was high. Also getting the added running back in Akers now. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, if he gets more run attempts in this type of game or gets some goal line more attempts, maybe he gets in for a rushing touchdown and could possibly hit, 5,800. I feel better about that, that price range, especially for this type of game for him. But like I say, he just missed the cut because this team is very pass heavy, and not really run at all. Then we go into where we at. Where is he at? Kenneth Walker, man. Really great game for him. Coming off of what we got, I think it was 12 attempts, for him. Let me see. Then we had it right here, another 19. Yeah, for 6,200, man, he's in the range of like a 7,000 or so, back. But also a really good matchup. I expect him to break a big, run in this game and actually eclipse the 100-yard bonus and everything for us. And should be in the 20s, I think, in fantasy this week. So has to make the cut, there at top 5 because of that. And also being a home back, and it should be raining, so they'll probably be leaning a lot more on the run than passing in this game anyways. Also playing a rookie quarterback, maybe the defense steps up and gets them some extra goal line attempts in close field positions and stuff like that. That can also help Walker. So then we move on to, I know he's injured right now, but back to Henry, man. I know a lot of people probably won't be one to take him. He was super chalk. Did pretty well though. I mean, I know he didn't hit completely like a 28 points or so, which everybody was leaning towards happening, but I mean, super chalk, it be happening like that, and then the next week, how it be like, then nobody wants him and then he goes off and stuff like that. So, but he's in, another good matchup for him. Run blocking should be good against Cleveland for him. And they're going to lean on Henry still, as always. Nothing's going to change there. I love the targets that he's getting, though, because he used to get none at all, and then sometimes he gets 2. And now we're seeing 3 and 4, and that's really good for him. Definitely can help us, get him to, the possible 27 points. But, yeah, had to put him in there, man. Number 4, man, on this list. At number 3, though, we have Gibbs, man. Gibbs has to be in this, going against his competition for, rookie of the year or best running back out of the rookies this year. So, what I want to say, Bijan Robinson and everything. But yeah, coming off of just 7 attempts both games, we seen it, his production got upped a little bit, because of 9 targets from 2. That's really good to see. So we're looking at now with 16 attempts there for him total. So at 6,600, 16 attempts. That's still more like a $5,000 back. But the thing is, Montgomery looks like he's probably not going to play. So all those attempts that we was looking at Montgomery getting, which was about, let's see, even in just the last game, 16 attempts. Yeah. So we could be looking at a 16 attempts, plus the 9 targets now. And yeah, that's definitely for, towards what I want to say, like an $8,000 back. And so we're getting that for 6,600. Also playing at home, really good game. I definitely think he, Gibbs can definitely hit for you for 6,600. So then at number 2, we got Tony Pollard, man. Tony Pollard in a great game situation. We just saw Saquon be able to do what he did against, Arizona. Why not Pollard? It's the same type of situation I feel like for Pollard. But also I think the difference is his defense probably gets him the ball back more, and in good field position for him to be able to go off. Looking at a possible like 28, fantasy points there, I think. So had to put him at their number 2 spot there on the top 5 here today. And we're going to keep it moving though. At number 1 is Bijan Robinson. His workload is just, went up, a lot more to where we wanted to see. Especially and it kept the target still, really good here. Getting good yards too from the targets. Boy can score any way, from the run to the pass, and Cordell Patterson being out has helped. I just don't see, even if they bring him back now, Cordell Patterson, them not using Bijan this same amount, because he's just producing so well. I know they're happy they was able to sit him out, Cordell for the first 2 games and let this boy just cook. So now it's like I just feel like, they're not going to stop now, man. And it's going against Detroit. Like I said, he's playing the other running back, I know not going up, matched up against him, of course, but he's going to try to show out, I'm sure, because of that though. So we got Bijan at number 1 for all those reasons. Like I said, the matchup is really well for him too. His line should be able to push, Detroit. and get him some big runs out of that. We got, let's see what we doing. Quarterback. So at quarterback, man, number, what do we got? 6 on this list will be Jordan Love, man. Just been getting us, man, consistent 20s, man. Like, it's really good. Like, pass protection is good. The only thing I don't like about Jordan Love so far, and this is my team, so I'm still, like I said, I'm not biased, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, only thing I don't like is the attempts. He's been, very, I feel like almost just lucky. I know the matchups have been pretty easy. So I know that's helping, but I wish the attempts was higher. I mean, I think maybe they've been, trying to like slowly work him in to getting him up to speed and make sure he's, seeing the field right. Cause he did miss like another touchdown play in this game right here. And I'm sure he missed some stuff in here too. But yeah, the last game he missed a easy touchdown to Dobbs. Would have had 4 touchdowns. Then we've been looking at like, wow, Love is like one of the best quarterbacks basically, even with throwing low attempts, just very accurate though so far and everything. But I would love to see the attempts get pushed up a lot, because man, hitting on 25 and 27 is not, it's gonna be hard to sustain. But if we can push up to like a 37 or something like that, now that Christian Watson possibly is going to be back, I think he could be be up there in the top 5 more often for me. But right now, like I said, I had to keep him out of this one because the attempts and stuff like that is too risky, and just getting his number 1 receiver back for this game. Might be gotta build the chemistry up for that, before we just click on Love for sure. But then at number 5 here, right below him, we got Stroud, who has a shoulder limitation and stuff like that. Participating. Oh shoot. I like Stroud though this week, man. Really feel good about him. The attempts is there, man. As y'all see, man, it's just 47s and throwing 44 attempts. I love it. I think he'll be okay. He was limited going into the last game, and he still was able to throw 47 times. A good atmospheric game right here. Jacksonville is going to put it on Houston. I know this is also a rivalry, type of game too, because it's divisional. And Jacksonville being at home, they will definitely lean on their run game for sure, especially with an injured Zay Jones. But they will also throw, and Houston knows they're going to be in for somewhat of a shootout, and they're going to have to throw in to stay in this game. And that's why I like Stroud so much, also because I feel like he will be down, and since he's throwing 44 and 47 attempts, it shows that he's just not just going to back down and just lay down to any team that just gets up big on him. So he could end up hitting big, so that's why I had to put him in the top 5, number 5, man. At number 4 though, gotta go with Goff. Hopefully, his weapons are healthy, because I've seen a few of them coming up, injured and stuff like that right now. But by the end of this week, we will know for sure. But just the pass protection that he has, man, Atlanta is going to, probably be able to score on them. And which is going to make, and then every time Goff is at home, period, the Detroit just plays better, man. They play faster. They score more. It all just bodes well for Goff, man. So like anytime you see him at home, you got to take a shot at him, man. Because plus, like I said, his pass protection is so good. As long as he has the weapons out there, he should be able to get the ball off to them easily. So that's why he makes it at number, 4. And now we go on to number 3. Kirk Cousins, man, makes this list at number 3, man. Just playing outstanding, man. Like, you got to give it to him right now. Only throwing 1 interception to 6 touchdowns. Crazy. But look at the attempts, man. This is what I love to see. The attempts, 44, man. Like, love it, man. They're playing pretty fast, man, and getting just everybody's getting a touch, basically, at least the receiver wise to tight end. And like I told y'all, they're really not running that much over here, but yeah, you see it right here in these attempts. You already can tell. But also the best part about it is like the attempts is high, but he's actually getting touchdowns with it. So we need that combination, to go together. It means that he's being pretty accurate and hitting those big plays, man. That is very hard to get touchdowns now in this league with the way teams is playing defense. But Cousins got to make it on this list at number 3 for that reason. And then we got Herbert, man, on the other side of this game. The attempts went up the last game, as you see, but it also had to do with, of course, Eckler being out. And I believe that's why he ended up throwing almost nearly 10 more times. But this is going to be even a more intense game than Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans don't even throw that much. So for him to go from, a game where, he had Eckler, was able to lean on him and things like that, in a tense game right here, battle, knowing he was going to have to throw a lot to keep up with Miami. goes into Tennessee and doesn't have Eckler, and ends up throwing even more. So, hits the 300-yard bonus. Now you're going into another game where you're going to have to throw a lot. Like, you're going to have to be able to score a lot too, to beat Minnesota, and they're going to come in there. Both of these teams are going to come in there with like crazy energy because they're both 0-2. So it's a battle of who's going to finally get their first win. So this is a really good game here, man, because of that atmosphere. And Herbert has to make it at number 2 for these reasons, man. Like I said, I expect also probably 3 touchdowns thrown from him, man. Moving on to number 1, man, this week is Pat Mahomes. Just everybody's killing Chicago right now, quarterbacks and things like that, having the best day ever against them because it's almost like a practice game. Like they're not getting pass rush and stuff like that, and for the quarterback to even be rushed at all, they're just getting all the time back there in the pocket, and you cannot do that to Pat Mahomes. You cannot just let him sit back there and pick apart your defense. And if you're going to do that, for a whole entire game, basically, and not get any pressure, your cornerbacks aren't really that great. You have like one good one. Besides that, it's nothing there. So I just see Pat Mahomes having a field day against them. Serious. Like they're probably going to pull out everything they got, like offensive plays wise against Chicago. And I don't want to miss out on it. So that's why I got to put him at number 1 to let y'all know so y'all don't miss out on it either, man. And so that's it for the number 1 spot for quarterback. We're going to move on to wide receivers here. Wide receivers, let's see who we got here. Just missing the cut here is going to be Lockett. Looking at Metcalf's injury, I'm thinking they're going to lean on Lockett a little bit more for this next game. I feel like Metcalf is going to still be sore with his ribs. He got hit pretty hard there, sandwiched between 2 defenders at the goal line. So, yeah, Lockett ended up stepping up big. I already did tell y'all, though, Lockett was going to be a good pick for that last game anyways. He had the matchup and everything, so hopefully y'all was able to pick him and hit on that. But, yeah, this week again, I feel like he has another opportunity to hit again back-to-back weeks because of the fact, like I said, if Metcalf is really injured and things like that, if he can get another 8 to 10 targets, I see him going off against Carolina here. The only thing is, like I say, it is raining, so you might want to a little bit come off a little bit of that game just because of that for Lockett wise, because they might not be throwing as much if they can just run the ball. So that's why he just missed a cut though because of that. And then we got at number 5 here, who's been hurting me, man, is Mike Williams, man. So, but love the targets, man. Can't go away from when you see the targets go up like this, so. And I know it went up too, like because Eckler was hurt. So we do know we got to keep a cautious mind of that, though. But so far, they're not really using any other receivers. Like I thought Quentin Johnston was going to be playing. I thought, or maybe Joshua Palmer was going to be in there. They have not filled that wide receiver 3 role for like a 90%, being out there on the field for either one of those receivers. So the only ones that we do know that's out there is Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. And so if Eckler somehow doesn't play this game, then we're going to see probably another 13 target Mike Williams in this explosive game. So I just don't see how he doesn't hit this game. We saw Keenan Allen. Yeah, he had the matchup. I mean, Tennessee has been getting killed in the slot anyway, so we already know that. But Mike Williams, this game, yeah, I definitely could see him killing the cornerbacks on Minnesota and hitting big for just 5,700 back-to-back weeks. He was 5,700. Now he goes up 300, so I could definitely see a lot of people not wanting to take him. But it's a really good game here, and I definitely see him hitting on at least a touchdown and 100 yards. And so then at number 4, man, we have on the other side of that game, Justin Jefferson. So it's nothing really to talk about here. Basically, great game. 25 targets in the 2 games, man. And we're still missing a touchdown. And the team has lost both of their games. Both of these teams have lost both of their games, So, expect a huge game for him. He's probably feeling like he needs to get 200 yards just for them to win the game. So, possibly ends up with 200 yards and a touchdown or something in this game. And I'm not going to miss it. So, he is on this list at number 4 for those reasons. At number 3, we have CeeDee Lamb. Just a really good, easy matchup, I think, for him, man. And the targets, man, went up crazy. The first game, we couldn't get the targets. Come on, defense was just scoring everything, so offense wasn't even on the field enough. Then we finally get a game where the offense gets on the field, since the Jets was able to play good enough, at least, to let the offense have to get back on the field and not give up so many touchdowns to the defense, at least, But because of that, we got to see how the Cowboys offense really wanted to play basically probably the first game. They played really fast, was able to get a lot of targets to CeeDee Lamb. The offense seems like it's going to go through CeeDee Lamb and Pollard. And it's working out so far, pretty great, averaging the most points in the league right now. I expect, them to be able to do that again. This game should be a pretty easy game for them, but I do think CeeDee Lamb could be able to hit another 28 points, possibly ends up pushing him out the 7,000s if he does hit that again, though. And then let's see who we got here. So at number 2, if he isn't injured, St. Brown will be a good play. So I had to put him in there because the matchup does bode well for him, because in that slot position, I don't know if y'all all watched the Packer game or not, but I did say Jaden Reed was going to be able to have a pretty good game there. And he did, because he's in the slot. I thought Christian Watson was going to play, drawing the attention away from him, but didn't even have to do that. He scored 2 touchdowns, even though, he did not even play that game. So now we got St. Brown, who we know gets, mad targets, coming off of 102 yards, and got hurt in this game, which was crazy. So he didn't play almost the second half or something like that. But if we can get a full game for him in this game against Atlanta, I can definitely see him hitting for 102, yards again, possibly, and at least possibly 2 touchdowns like Jaden Reed had. So, it should be able to work out fine for him. I think, I had to put him on this list because this is also a pretty exciting game here. It could be a back and forth shootout here too as well. So we're going to keep it moving. At number 1 this week, though, we got Tyreek Hill, who is now questionable. Let's see, limited practice due to ankle injury. So, but his matchup is just really good because of the fact that they line him up, in the slot, or, it's like a lot of his routes come across the middle of the field, which is where Denver has been being attacked at the most, and it's been working. From Jacoby Myers, the week before, and then last week I think we seen some McLaurin and things like that kind of attack them and score. So it's just like, it's showing that, yeah, Tyreek Hill, he's just pretty much unstoppable anyways with his speed, and how much plays they're going to run for him, especially if somehow Waddle can't pass concussion and clear that in time. They're going to draw up mad plays for Tyreek Hill for this game. So hopefully he's able to be okay by come Friday's report. But yeah, the matchup is just too great for him, man. You just know they're going to scheme up crazy ways, even if they got to run or whatever, to get him. Even I don't even think it matters if they have Patrick Surtain on him. I just feel like they're going to draw up so much stuff for this guy to be able to go off. So, but yeah, we got to stay, tuned on this questionable. Otherwise, we're going to have to move up everybody that, into a spot, and then like whoever I had at 6 on here, which was Lockett, that just moves up to the 5th spot, and then St. Brown becomes number 1 in here. So that's it, man, for the top 5 for week 3, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope this really helps y'all out this week. If you got any questions or comments you want to leave, put them below. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy J Star. Good luck this week. I'm out, y'all. Peace.